This Pirate Game Master Tech video is part of the Desolate Tower series, an epic fun house dungeon intended to challenge players of moderate experience. This series is designed for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. If you have conversion questions for other systems, let me know in the comments below. Hello everyone, Nerdtastic Pirate here, and today we're going to talk about this puzzle. Well, it's not really a puzzle, it's more of an environmental hazard. So what we have going on here is we have a chamber where the players can enter from either side. It will be the same challenge, either direction. However, assuming they're coming from below to the top, which is the direction that they travel in this wizard's tower that we're doing for the game that we have here. The floor here is 60 feet below, and there's a 40-foot higher ceiling. So this is a 100-foot gap between floor and ceiling on this chamber. In the middle of the room here, we have the players will notice there's a bunch of swords lined up in a straight line, all oriented the same way in the middle of the room. Now, earlier in the dungeon, the players would have encountered, or I should say very likely encountered, at least one puzzle with, or hazard with magnets involved. So the magnetism that's involved in this room should be semi recognizable by this. We're hoping that at this point that this will be these kinds of subtle clues will be enough to alert our players to the dangers that are posed in a room like this, because that's going to help them do well later on in the temple, or excuse me, in the tower. And also, this dungeon is, while it is a funhouse dungeon, it's kind of I feel like kind of a mischaracterization. It's more of a bridge between old school styles of play, because I realized that I am kind of inadvertently part of this old school revival group of people who's interested in making the game feel scarier and more less cartoonish at times. So and I want my players to think. I don't want them to just show up and count on their character sheet saving their butts. I want them to feel like they earned it. And my players do. So this is the kind of subtle hints we're going to give them. Now this room does have a few things. So the two ledges here are equal height, obviously, and there's this drop here to the floor. Now both the floor and the ceiling have powerful magnets built into them, and this creates a force field in the center of the room that will block any creature that tries to quickly move through it. Slowly moving through the field will allow them to slip through, as lesser kinetic energy is not blocked. However, any ferrous metal that interacts with the force field will be instantly pulled either towards the ground or the ceiling, whichever is closer. However, exceptionally large metal objects will go up instead of down, like heavy armor and constructs, which take them to the ceiling. So if our players in heavy armor walk into this wall, they're going to have to worry about being yanked up towards the ceiling. So this is going to help. This is going to create an interesting situation. Getting the stuck metal object away from the magnetic field is a DC 20 strength check. So this is not a high hazard situation, other than, I suppose, if you have a player who's very, very high up. 100 foot of fall damage is potentially lethal, depending on how squishy they are. Or it might mess up their day if they're like a warlock concentrating on a spell. But, the thing is that for the players that we're intending this for, this isn't for like 1st to 3rd level characters. This isn't for baby characters. This is for competent characters of, probably 10th plus level, probably closer to like 12th, 12th level. So 12th level characters should be able to handle this kind of situation, either with feather fall or any other number of means of magic or might and sorcery. So I don't think we need to worry about. We're not here to hold their hands on this. Um, they'll be okay, especially since heavy armored people usually have a lot of health. So we're not going to worry too much about them outright dying from this. And there's no monsters, so their friends should be there and they should be able to heal somebody. So I think the chances that this is like a TPK situation doesn't seem like a likely situation. And if it does happen, I mean, I guess that's a cautionary tale to your players, but I don't think that's really not where you're looking at that. Somebody who wears heavy armor is going to make a DC 20 strength check at some point. So they're going to break away, they're going to fall, they're going to take some damage, and then they're going to figure out how to crawl back up and get out of this place. So it's not a terribly complicated or difficult thing to run. The players just have to worry about this magnetic force field and interacting with it with their metal objects, which creates a barrier, but not an impassable one. Especially if the players think about this, they could easily set up some kind of pulley system where they have a rope, and one of them could disrobe of any kind of metal, walk through the force field with the rope, go across, and then pull their stuff on the rope through the force field slowly, gently, and anything that gets yanked one way or another, they can just all work together and pull it through. So it's really not an it's not impossible, and it's not terribly lethal for the characters that this is intended for. Now, if you were doing this for lower level characters, you could instead, of course, have it be a less of a fall distance, and then it doesn't matter, because if they're only going to fall 30 feet, that's 3 die 6. And you could have a couple first level characters even probably deal with something like that, and they'd be okay. They would be okay. They'd have somebody who could heal them up a little bit, and if they had some healing potions, they'd be okay. So I think the general design of this is pretty simple, and it's just going to take a little bit of ingenuity for your players to come get through it, and that's all there really is to it. It's very simple, very simple, very simple design. And I wanted to do the teaser for next week. It is a multi-part trap that is sure to give, I think, players a pretty memorable time, and I have called it "What Are You Waiting For?" As the players peer through this open door, they can see across the way to a locked door. A gently sloping floor leads to an ornate drain. There are vents all along the ceiling. I look forward to seeing you guys in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you think there's anything that should be improved about this room, let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys all have a safe and great day. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe so you won't miss future Dungeon Master content from me, the Nerdtastic Pirate. Have a great day.